All right, hello once again. Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. As part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development program, and in particular the AWD 1111 .NET Framework with Web Databases class, I've been creating a series of video presentations based on the book that will be used for the class in the fall 19 semester, that being Pro ASP.NET MVC 5. I'm in about 2/3, 3/4 the way through Chapter 2, where we're creating a party application. So we're up to here, but we now have to add some validation. You already saw that without the validation, we could put garbage in there. All right. What we're going to add right here are what are referred to as data annotations. The first thing to note is to use data annotations, we'll need to put this into our guestresponse.cs file. Okay, in fact, I'm going to leave it out on purpose. And we're going to get some errors. So I'm going to highlight all this, copy it to the clipboard. So what are we saying? This field is required, this field is required, this field is required, this field is required. If you leave any of them off, you'll get please enter your name, or please enter your email, or please enter your phone number, or please specify whether or not you'll attend. Also, we've got a regular expression here that says if you don't enter a valid email address, give me an error. Okay? So as it says, these validation rules are what are shown in bold. MVC automatically detects them and validates the data for us. So what does that mean? It means this. I'm going to come back to my guestresponse.cs. I'm going to remove what's in there, and I'm going to replace it with this. All right? Now, we get that error. In fact, we get the error all over the place. Why? Because we didn't put in that using statement. I put my mouse here, I click by the light bulb, and I say, hey, please go in and add that using system data or system component model.data annotations. All the errors are gone. All right. I'm again going to save, and I'm again going to run the program. If you remember last time when we put nothing in there whatsoever, we did not get any error messages. Okay? So now let's see if we do. Nope. That's interesting. I thought we would have. All right. But I'm going to put in here an invalid email name. Let's put that in there. Surprised that, and I'm making these all bad. Huh. Well, this should have automatically been saved, but I'm going to try it anyway. File, save all. We have to add a little bit more code in here. All right. And that is, we've got to come back and in our home controller for our RSVP form right here, we're just returning thanks regardless. No, that is not what we want to do. We want to say in here, if model state dot is valid, which means if we put in the fields, we put in everything, and everything that we put in there was valid, then we want to give that message that says thanks and all the other good stuff. Otherwise, there's an error. So we just want to return back to the view. You'll see that in just a moment. Let's put a comment in here. We don't need this to do anymore because we've just done that. All right, so this would say, well, I guess they're putting it here. Oops. Let's just say all form fields validated. I think that's a better comment than what they have. All right, let's run it again. And we're still going to have some problems in just a minute. You're going to see how we fix that in a second. But we are getting there, okay? So click that. You'll notice it didn't go anywhere now. That's good. When we put in valid info, then it works. Great. All right. So what do we have to do to fix this? Well, not really very much, but we have to go over to our response thing that's over here, where we've got our form. And right underneath our form, before our first paragraph, we want to put in here @HTML. So in other words, we're going to use an HTML helper dot validation summary. Now let's try it one last time. So we're going to leave that, click there. Which should eventually bring our form up. Click there. There's our errors. Please enter your name, please enter your etc. Notice now I put my name in there, but I put in an invalid email address. All right. The errors change. Please enter a valid email address and whether or not you'll attend. All right. I'm going to put in here 2 for the phone number. Well, it looks like we're not checking that. See that? So if I say hello at goodbye.com as an example. All right. It took it. Now that's not really a good thing. Personally, if I was writing this where we have in here in our where is that? It's in our guest response. All right. I would have put a regular expression in for the phone as well. So I would have done something like this. What I like to do too here, you don't have to do this, but I like to separate each one of these things out so I know what fields are together. Okay, hopefully you understand what I mean by that. Now, here we've got required error message. Well, this is wrong. What I want in here is to put in let's see. Gives me a chance to go back to one of my old friends here online that's called HTML5 pattern.com, and I'm going to look for a phone for America, which is a phone number, French, USA. We're just going to put it like this. Whoops. Come on. And we're going to copy that to the clipboard. All right. We're going to put that right here, which says we expect the phone number to be 3 digits, a hyphen, 3 digits, a hyphen, and 4 digits. So what doesn't it like here? Unrecognized escape sequence. Well, what if we put here a caret, and here we put a $sign? Still is giving us that. Doggone it. Well, I'll have to figure that one out and put it back in at a later time. All right? This is actually correct, but there's other ways that you can put in the phone number. So let's see. For right now, I'm just going to leave that regular expression out of there. And I'll have to figure out how to put that in later. Okay? Why? Because I don't want to get stuck on something that's not even shown in the book. All right. So we said if it's valid, do the thanks, otherwise return the view, and we put in the HTML validation summary. So we've got all that in there. You saw this. The user won't be shown the thanks unless they put in everything in a valid way. So highlighting invalid fields. I'm on the bottom of page 39. It says the helper methods that create all this stuff have a handy feature that can be used in conjunction with this. When a model class has failed validation, they'll generate slightly different HTML. All right. The author says, I have highlighted the difference in bold. The helper method added a class called input validation error. So what we want to do, and I'm going to do this fairly quickly, but it shouldn't be anything that's new to most of you, and that is, I'm going to, let's see where they tell us to do it in here. Okay, they want us to come in and create a folder underneath here. So we want to do a right mouse click on the name of our project, add, and we want new folder that we're going to call content. And in our content folder, we're going to right mouse click, add, and we're going to go to new item, and we want CSS, which is probably under web, style sheet. So we'll just call this, what do they tell us to call this? Styles.css. So styles.css. That's our new file. I don't believe we'll need this, but it's going to be a CSS file. Let's get rid of this. Click the Add button, and Visual Studio will create that. Set the content of the new file to this. What we're saying is we're going to want our errors to be bold and red. Okay? So there it is. Save that. All right. To use the style sheet, we need to add a new reference. Now, we're used to, and we can do this. Okay? We can come in right here to our RSVP form file. So we can come in here. Okay? And then right here, I can type link. See how it finds it. Okay? But there's an easier way to do it. I can grab the style sheet and drag it right out here and let it go and let it fill it in for me. Kind of a nice feature. All right, hopefully I didn't do that too fast. Now watch what happens. I'm going to save and I'm going to run it one more time, and then we're going to be done with this part of the presentation. All right, I'll have one more or so that I'll have to do for this chapter. Oh, it gave us an error. Do we want to run this? No. Please enter a valid email address. What the heck did I do here? Well, that was because I foolishly put that in there. So, okay, that did clear out all of our errors. Oops, I want that. Okay, so save it again, try it one last time, run it. The errors are gone. That was my error. I apologize for that. But I want to show you the fact that, notice now when we run this, see how it shows us both this in red, that's what our CSS did, plus it puts pink around everything that's wrong. Notice if I say yes, I'll be there, it's not pink anymore. My phone, okay, everything's there now. Please enter a valid email address. Wow, what's wrong with that email address? Okay, there's your phone. Oh, the phone has to be set up. I believe it's looking for it like that. No. And this is wrong because it says, please enter valid. Well, that's because I foolishly made that change before. All right, so name, email address for the email. Please enter your phone number. That's because we don't want this. Okay. And we don't want this to say, please enter that. We want that all out of there. That, again, is on me, and I do apologize. So, one more time, let's run it. We're going to click the link again. Boom. Everything is the way we thought it would be. All right. Once it's all filled in, boom, everything works. Okay? All right. That's it for right now. And when I come back, which I will in just a moment, I am going to go into, so we styled, into using NuGet to install Bootstrap. And hopefully this will be the last lecture for this chapter, the next one. Back shortly.